Hey everybody, it's Abex's creator here, Mason. So Abex is not here today because he doesn't need to know his own lore. He already knows his own story. But if you don't know, Abex has this channel, this huge channel right here. I'm logged in. I know his password. He is not safe. I will hack it. He did not make another episode of the Sillies. I wanted another episode of that. How dare you, Abex? I'm gonna demand him to make another Sillies episode. Alright, so, he's been making videos for a long time, so this is like the first lore bit. Actually, no, we need to get to this piece of lore after the Ryan incident thing, so let's... You can hear my paper, right? Yeah, I bring a script today. Unlike Abex, I actually script my videos. I'm gonna offend Abex with this one. Alright, so if we're talking about Abex lore, we need to go back to 1943's Japan. If you're unaware, that is imperialist Japan in World War II, so let's look it up. Oh my gosh. 1943 Japan. Sorry, I have... See? Look. That's what it is. Sorry, I have ultra kill sounds. Sorry. Sorry. I'm being funny. This is Abex's computer, so he has all this. He has... Not sponsored by Opera GX, but he has Opera GX. Pretty good. A pretty good browser, actually. I'm stuck with Microsoft Edge. So basically, Japan was running out of ways and ideas to win against the US, but they did have some prisoners of war left, aka POWs. Yes, I am historically accurate in this lore. So days before they started trying to experiment, they found a new ore with powers that would soon be found out. The ore's name is Oxium, or its powers were unknown, but they had no choice but to use it, to infuse it into the POWs. Once they did that, the POWs were no longer human, they were auxiliary human. A couple years later, after the bombing, so this is like after the fact, so Americans just, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they just bombed those two, just now. Now, funnily enough, one of these laboratories were in Nagasaki, so you can imagine what happened to the prisoners of war. Hey, the Americans were surprised that the prisoners of war survived, so they took them in, fed them, then released them. But when the 3 auxiliary humans got into the city, people hated them a lot, so they went out into the plains and built a camp. There, one of the first auxiliary camps, only if they knew what pain and suffering would befall them next. Ultra kill line! Cue the music. Okay, I think that's enough ultra kill music for you. Part 2, Abex era. So, after some time... Oh my gosh, the sentence starts with so. I'm like, so, and then it starts with so. Dang it, I hate these scripts. So, after some time, Abex was born, and his parents left him as soon as he was born, sadly. Oh god! Oh god. I think that's payback. Okay, no making fun of people who don't have parents. Well, where was I? But while Abex was growing up, he had bully problems. Of course he does. Because he was a blue blood, and everyone at the time did not know he was the most powerful of them all. Why do I sound like Minos? So there were some blood-colored tears. So red was rare, but weak, only having one power, being telekinesis. Yellow had 5 choice powers. I'm trying to make this sound appealing. 5 choice powers and stuff from the last tier. Blue had 5 more choice... Sorry, I need to stop. 5 more choice powers. And could float, teleport, clone thyself. Why did I put that in? And when and if it unalives something, it gets rid of its history and any known knowledge of said thing. I sound like an anime character now. Oh no. well, now I'm gonna have to make a character that, make sure y'all don't gender blend my character. So I made a character just for that. Abexy is just a girl version of Abex, but she differs from Abex, like, a bit, like, weapon handling and feelings. Unlike Abex, she's aware of love. P.S. They are separate entities, so that's why Abexy has a crush on Abex. I am not a narcissist! Let me explain. Let me explain, studios. I'm being funny. Let me explain. I'm not a narcissist, okay? So what happened? So, actually, one of the pages actually explained this, so we'll be going over that in the next page after the Ryan incident. But their or is the reason why they have the names. They couldn't have any other letter that was appealing, but X sounded appealing enough. And Abexy didn't want to have a manly name, so she added a Y. These are two separate people that lived in similar houses, also had no parents. But yeah. Mechanically, Abexy is a different person altogether. So, before you say I'm narcissist, I know I'm gonna get so much comments. Abex! Oh, no, not Abex. Oh my gosh, they're gonna call me Abex. Oh my god. I'm gonna ruin Abex's, reputation. Actually, that's perfect. Abex, why are you so narcissist? Oh, that's gonna be so funny seeing it too. Abex is gonna be like, dude, why you die? I'm like, I don't know. Ruin your channel? Alright, let me continue. The Ryan incident, 2/7/2022. So Ryan was a demon blood. The blood tier never talked about. So Ryan was 7 and was going to turn 8 that day. That's sad. Nah. But his demon part of him activated. Oh yeah, it definitely activated. And he went insane, just as Abexy and Abex were going to see him for his birthday. So if you want context, Abex and Abexy met in the 2019-2020 era, so just know that. Witness accounts! Oh my god. This is why I turned it to the FBI. Witness accounts! Abex and Abexy. A sort of badly hurt and traumatized Abexy and a silent, badly injured Abex enter the interrogation room at 9:40 a.m. Why does it have to be so specific? Agent, so tell me your story, Abexy. Abexy, well, me and Abex were going to see Ryan Wilson for his birthday. And can't continue because Abex angrily cuts in. Abex angrily says as his right eye for the first time starts to flame red. He jumped from the door and attacked me, ripping off my arm and my leg in the process. Sir? Please, sir, clam down? Well, just so y'all know, this is how I spelled calm. And that exact clam, sir, clam down. This is why I spelled clam. AI overview. Why do I want that? I forgot I had that activated. All right, sir, calm down now, or we may have to tase you. Why did I sound like Gabriel for a second? Fine. Abexy, whose right eye is flaming blue in distress, says, well, after that, what happened to me was that he tore off my right arm. Why do I sound like a... Tore off my right arm, then ran to where the elders were. So they died? Maybe. Recording ended. So the years after, Abex became a bit more of a dark person. And somehow later became the Judge of Hell. Little did he know that God was applying more than just one Judge of Hell. Little did Abex know that someone would be his partner in crime. Guess who it is? That might be copyright. Abexy had applied for Judge of Hell a month before because she was able to, due to her being a blue blood. Then Abex did. Abex in mind is really powerful. So is Abex. Them two goofballs. What was I doing when I wrote this? Have the following powers. mind-bending, mind-killing, mental deterioration, atomizing kick, punch, flick, floating, teleportation, and cloning. But they can also do damage without powers too, because Abex's and Abex's choice weapon is the FAMAS burst action in gold. Yes, I just said that. FAMAS burst action in gold. Oxium and Ebian ore. Yeah, here's the explanation on how I'm not a narcissist. Oxium ore was found in Japan before the experiments started. They found it a bit before the mantle of the earth. Like, the ore would be like a couple feet, or maybe like, I don't know, just like in Minecraft standards, it would be like a couple, like 5, 6, maybe like 7 or 20, maybe around that general area. You can find it in the 7 or 20 area of blocks. You can find it around that before the mantle. Now, yes, you can find it in the mantle too, but I don't suggest going down to the mantle because it's hot down there. So, yeah, that's why they mined it before, like, the mantle of the earth. It generated a lot of energy, but was also known to give powers because of said energy. Ebian ore, which I actually made a song about it. Let me go look at it. Right here, Ebian. This was the song. Let's listen to it real quick. Alright, let's just skip. There's one part where it's like alters a prosody where it brings back a melody or something. It brings back the alt enraged melody, if y'all did not know that. Right here. Hold up. That's the alt enraged melody right there. Now that's the explanation on why it's like this in this part. But yeah, it starts out so normal, like emo country intro. Yeah, it starts out emo country. Sorry. Yeah, I like how the Ultra Kill music starts playing again. I like it. I like it so much. So, y'all have basically seen... Well, I haven't explained the ore yet. Ebian ore is the stuff that resides inside of Abex and Abex. So if they die, which they probably won't anytime soon, you could do an autopsy and, like, their heart is infused with it. Same as their brain. If you look at their brain, it's red. It's like has red ore in parts. But also the auxiliary humans have green instead of red. Abexy and Abex have red. So, yeah. Let me continue. Instead of Oxium, meaning they are so powerful, Oxium could not handle their bodies. So, Ebian was the replacement, because it's more powerful, but also the ore is how they got their names. The way you can tell the ores differ is because color and energy. Oxium is green, Ebian's red. The ores are the reason for the flaming eye, flaming right or left eye when mad or sad thing. So, you remember Abexy having her eye flame in distress? That's because of the ore. You remember Abex's right eye flaming red? That's because of the ore. In this song right here, the cover has the blue fighting the red. This is when he truly gets enraged right here. And then this picture right here is when he's docile. That's him when he's docile, but that's him with the mask on. I don't know why I didn't add the mask, but it's already done. People have already seen it. The reason why I didn't add the mask is because I was trying to mimic the old style that I used to do with the first album, of course. Alright. So... Oh my gosh, why did I turn back to the first page? Oh yeah, wasn't I going to say something about, like, after the Ryan incident? Yes, I did. Alright, so if we scroll down long enough, down here, you can tell the videos start getting less and less in quality. like less, like it starts lessening in quality further you go down. Till you get to the last video that Among Us Tricky made. Now, if you listen to the video, yeah, we had this stupid intro. We need to skip so I don't get copyright. Oh no, okay, it's still playing. Oh, how young is this voice in this video, by the way?
So, let's see.
I am not watching I'm not listening to a baby talk, dude. That sounds like a baby. It sounds like a little child. It's kind of, like, if I look back at these older videos, I sound like a child. Alright. So, instead of looking at the stupid orcs versus smart humans, because my quality is crap, we're not going to do that. We're just going to say, so what happened in that video was possibly the last video that Among Us Tricky made. Now this video was while he was in the void chamber, so this was like pre-void chamber. So Abex, who was the editor of the videos at the time, had enough of Among Us Tricky just, you know, doing that. But also he had just came back from the Ryan incident like a week ago, and he feels like he should have some time on his own channel. Fact, this was actually his channel before Among Us Tricky, but Among Us Tricky just completely took it over. And whenever Abex went on YouTube, he had to look at that stupid icon, the stupid icon that was Among Us Tricky. Now, if you look back at these community posts, like if we go back a while, now I know none of y'all look at my community posts because I never get a comment on it. This was the first time that Among Us Tricky ever decided to do anything. Somebody commented? Oh. Desperate Among Us Tricky, I swear. So, yeah, the time that Among Us... So you can also see, like, the time that Among Us Tricky made his last post. It was here. Yeah, he put me in his icon. Yeah. Oh no, that was still Among Us Tricky. Oh no, it's still Among Us Tricky. When it truly ended, I think, was around here. This is the last time. Then Abex started posting it, so yeah. So what really happened is that Abex got sick of the controlling Among Us Tricky, and what he decided to finally freaking do is that he would just take back over his own channel, and that's exactly what he did. That's exactly what he did. After that one, Kesselbox, but Abex plays it. Gorebox, but Abex plays. This was around the time that the whole channel changed. Now, around the time that Among Us Tricky died in the Void Chamber was after this. So this was the video when Among Us Tricky died. This was his last dying effort. Because, as soon as he got in there, he only had, like, 3 waters and 3 lunches, like, 3 lunches, 3 dinners, and 3 breakfasts. With the 3 days that he was going to be in there. But Abex soon forgot that Among Us Tricky was even in the Void Chamber, and Among Us Tricky kind of unalived in there. He unalived without food and water, nothing, because he ran out like 2 days ago. So yeah, after the incident with Among Us Tricky, Abex didn't know. He didn't know that he left Among Us Tricky in there until the video titles started not having Abex in them anymore. The moment that they stopped having Abex in them, Abex knew. Except for this one. This was like after. But yeah, this was also after the fact. This was like after this video. When this one was posted, that was a day after Among Us Tricky died. Abex, of course, wasn't going to make it public. Why? Because it could ruin his image. Why? Because he thought people was going to hate him for it. Oh my gosh. Looking at all these old videos makes me feel nostalgic. I don't know why. It's just weird. It's a weird thing. Don't ask. So, yeah, that's when Among Us Tricky died. So, we're going to look at current day now. Abexy and Abex continue to judge hell. Abex being more of a experienced combat person. He is a more experienced combat person. Abexy is still learning, but Abex helps her and is fairly nice to her. But I just add the but. Pranks her sometimes. Abex hangs out with Magazine, Content X's OC. Now, I won't be covering his OC because it's his. I'm not going to cover the lore for him. He's going to have to make lore. But, Content X. Yeah, that guy. Content X, I will add to my homepage. Hold up. If you go... No. If you go down far enough, you can see friends. I was going to add him here, but I can't find his, you know, email. The thing that's right here. So, yeah, if you want to go check out his channel, it will be soon added to the friends part of my homepage. So, yeah, just look out for that. Alright. Abex does not know that his niceness and skill is starting to make Abex like him a lot. But Magazine knows it, and Magazine tries to tell Abex. But Abex is known to say, what is a love? Now, if you try to ship any of your characters, or if you try to ship Abexy and Abex together, Abex is just going to, for the entirety of that video, he's going to not know what's happening. So you can't force it on him because he doesn't know what the heck is happening. You're making him do stuff that he doesn't even know the concept of. Like, yeah. So, there you go. Abex and or Abexy normally wear sweatpants with a shirt saying the element of confusion, with a A4 apparel in 4234 men's / women's color block tech fleece hoodie in scarlet / graphite colors and black sneakers or flip-flops. Abex Judge of Hell and Abexy Judge of Hell wear armored robes with colors of black with some yellow lines. Now the mask you see in the icon right here, that's the Judge of Hell mask. That's the mask that Abex wears. Now, the yellow eye you see in the thumbnail, that one is coming from the mask. That is, like, projected. That's projected to show his emotion in that eye. Because he can't show emotions with this eye. So that's why that eye is not holographic at all. Because that eye can't show emotion. This one can. There you go. That's the only part I forgot to add to this one. Abex goes on to make a channel called Abexplaysgames and another one called GoPro Guy, so meaning that this channel right here, that one's canon. So I've subscribed to him. I've subscribed to myself. Yeah, but this I've not posted in a while, so. Oh god, no! Oh my gosh, I'm gonna. This is. I'm gonna have to change my home, like my trailer, of course, because it's just For Derek by Abex music video. I had to change it. Alright. Extra information given by the FBI. So before the Ryan incident, it was reported that the children at the first auxiliary camp were abused and not taught things. They were supposed to learn... Sorry, I'm trying to read this. Supposed to learn, like, love, but there were some elders that taught kids love and other stuff, like they were supposed to. After the incident, we moved 2 groups to separate locations. Auxiliary Camp 3.0, which is the one that Abexy, Abex, and Magazine all reside in, and Auxiliary Camp 2.0. The following died: Jacob Wilson, Elder 1 Eden, Elder 2 Neil, Elder 3 Abe. And then finally, this is not only canon, but this last one is just a jab at Murder Jones. Not a jab, but it's like a reference to Murder Jones, AK Doorman. That actually used to be canon. I'm being funny, that is canon. But I used to make that like into like a whole like character that I made. That was my third OC. It looks like Uzi, but human, and also this one made most of the weapons that Abex has. So when you look at most of the weapons that Abex has, like his Destiny Deagles, which is his double Deagles, double golden Deagles, of course. Abex, AK Doorman made those. When you see his golden FAMAS, AK Doorman made that one. When you see Abex's Rose Gold FAMAS, AK made that. All the weapons that they have, AK made. The only weapon that AK didn't make was the second primary Abex has. Now this is exclusive to Abex. It's called the Lobotomy AR. Now I don't have a picture of it, but it's basically a AR that's fused with a VSS Von Torres, a AK, and an MP5, so it could do that HK slap along with it. The reason why they call it the Lobotomy AR is because the stock looks similar to a lobotomy stick thing, looks lobotomy stabby thingy, when it was originally supposed to look like an AR stock. Now this could only be found in either places where insane people died, like Auxiliary Camp 1.0, or Hell itself. So I thought you'll have a hard time finding this. So what Abex and Abexy have to say, canon interaction. Abex says, okay, so I had a lot of fun reading, but I don't get why it says Abexy has a crush on me gets cut off, so that he doesn't get to say E. Cuts him off, now looking a bit red in the face. How do you know? I mean, that's not true. That's not true. Gets a fan to cool her off, of course. Still being a goofball. Okay, that should be good. What are you doing? Continues to take complex care of Abexy. I made that as a joke, okay? Even though it became a canon thing that Abex did in that moment, it continues to take complex care. It's funny. I thought it was gonna be funny. You good now? Yes. Can't help. You can't help but hug him. Oh, thanks. Abexy says, this is the last sentence she has to say. Well, what I have to say about the PTF is that it's cool until it revealed truth. I mean, lies. That's the entire lore. My brain is melting! But proof that I have paper right here. I'll put it down near my desk. So if y'all decide to break in my house anytime soon, that's the first thing y'all probably pick up. Please don't break into my house. Alright, so yeah, as stated, that's the entire lore that I can tell you. Because there's parts that I have redacted. Like, who was Jacob Wilson. All I can say, he was fairly bad to Ryan. But yeah. Sometimes Ryan will leave Morse code in videos. Now, the video It's Coming, this one right here, that Morse code was made by me. Alright? That Morse code was made by me. That video was made by me, not Abex. And this one's made by me too. But it will be edited by Abex, so I think I'll aggravate him a bit. I'm gonna have to face the repercussions. But any Morse code you hear in any one of Abex's videos, that's not me. That's not him. That's Ryan. Because Ryan is known to infect video. He's known to infect video a lot. Because if he's in his normal shadow figure white eyes form, then he can infect your TV. He's like the boiled one phenomenon. He can infect your TV. Or he can even infect video files, causing Morse code to be put into them. That's all I can tell you. So if you hear any Morse code, just remember to, you know, yeah. That's all I have to say. Like and subscribe so Ryan doesn't come and destroy you. And always remember to check that Morse code. That's gonna be what I say at the end of the video. Always remember to check that Morse code. So that's how you know I'm the one making the video. But last couple things. So behind the scenes. So when I was making Abex and Abexy, the reason why I made Abexy, first of all, was to avoid any sort of gender blendment that I've seen in other fandoms, right? Like, I hate it when they switch genders of characters. I hate it. I hate it so much. I want all those comic dubs to burn. But I hate gender blending. I hate it. I hate it so much. If my characters get gender blend, I don't know what I'll do. I don't know what I will do to the channel that does it. But that's the reason why I created Abexy. Like a similar character to Abex, but not a fully similar character to Abex. But also, here's another thing. In every single classic TV show, there's always been an admirer of the main character. Abex, of course, not thinking he's the main character. He doesn't have main character syndrome. But Abex does have an admirer, and you can guess who that is. But, yeah. So, also, more behind the scenes. So, Ryan. So, Ryan was composed, like, his entire thing was composed as, like, a character that would reappear as a villain, like, at some point. This character would not be corrupted, would be the best character, in some people's opinion. And then become a villain. Like, that's the whole point I had for Ryan, was to turn a good character into a villain. That's what I had for him. Now, the original Abex before I added all this lore was just Sans. It was Sans. It was inspired off of Sans, and now it's just inspired off of Sans, Gabrielle from Ultra Kill, V1 from Ultra Kill, not Dante from, probably Dante, I can't tell, maybe Dante from Devil May Cry, that's a shy maybe. And then the rest of it was just me. The rest of it was just what I thought I should just put in there. But also the mask was inspired by something in the finals, like that mask from the season 4 season pass, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah. The last behind the scenes I have is that when I made the Returnal arc, Abex was still, like, the Abex lore was still in its early phase. I still had him as Sans. I still had him all as that. So when I was making these, I say some, where is it? When I was making these videos, I was saying, I can't show that, because that's gonna get me copyrighted again. 123 views, wow. But as I was saying, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the Abex lore was not fully developed until, like, I don't know, which video was it that I started developing the Abex lore. It was around, I don't know. It was around the time I started, like, making the Abex album. It was around that. Where's the first? They turned it into shorts! No! No, they turned half of my album into shorts! They turned half of my album into shorts. That's why it won't appear on YouTube Music. Because they only accept freaking... I hate YouTube. But this was the time that I started developing the lore. And then the B-sides is when it really started doing something. Where's the B-sides? B-sides? B-sides album? Where's the B-sides at? Alright. Oh my god, I put it in the wrong place. These were made earlier. I need to reorganize my albums. This one was made the last right here. Alright, so sorry, I had to readjust. Alright, so this one was made, like, after, of course. So, this is when I was really starting to develop the friendship between Content X, aka Magazine, and Abex. Then I made some alt versions of, you know, Content X's songs. So, yeah. So that's all I have. That's the entire lore. How long is this video? Do I need to, like, cut it? Oh my gosh, it's 35 minutes!